Hello, my dear friends. Hello, my dear listeners. I hope you are doing your best in your own situation to serve your duties with your utmost love and honesty. So, let's start a new story from the book Bengal Fairy Tales, written by Francis Bradley-Birt. This book was illustrated by Abonindranath Thakur and it was first published in the year 1920. This book was published by John Lane, the Bottlehead in London, and John Lane Company in New York. So we are going to read a new story from first part of this book, and the name of the story is The Country of Swindlers. So let's start. The Country of Swindlers. There was a certain Sadagar who, on his deathbed, said to his son, "My son, I am in a short time to leave the world. The riches I have gained will enable you to sit with one leg over the other and eat. There will be no need for you to visit foreign countries. If you take a fancy, however, to do so, I adjure you never to think of going to the country in the far east known as the country of swindlers." Several years followed the merchant's death, and his son, stepping into his shoes, maintained the credit of the family. But it was impossible for the young man to fight against the decree of fate. A good many of his speculations failed, and there was a considerable strain upon his purse, so that to retrieve his fortune by foreign trade, he fitted out 4 ships laden with merchandise and bade farewell to his country, at least for a time. At first, the voyage was prosperous, but one day the sea through which the ships were passing became unusually rough. Waves rose mountains high, while the sky became so overcast that it was almost pitch dark. The crew, even experienced as they were, lost their way and called on the gods for help. For 3 days the elements remained furious without intermission, and the ships were sent adrift. At length, however, it cleared up, and the merchant and his men found themselves near the shore of a country which, though unknown to the former, was well known to the latter. It was the country of swindlers, and on learning the name from his men, the young merchant trembled with great fear. It was the very country of which his father had warned him, and now he was compelled to land on it, for to divert the course of his ships was impossible. Resigning himself to the hands of fate, he ordered the vessels to be driven to the nearest port. This was being done when the merchant, seeing a snow white heron, was laid by his evil genius to shoot it dead. No sooner this happened than a fuller who was washing clothes nearby ran to the spot and fell to the ground, beating his breast and tearing his hair. He took up the dead heron, kissed it 100 times, and then furiously abused the merchant for having killed his father, who, as a heron, had been helping him in washing clothes. The merchant, as was natural, laughed at the idea, and the washerman hastened to the king and filed a petition for damages. The alleged offender was hauled before the court, and on his failing to defend himself, for what defense could be made in such a preposterous case, the king, who was a partner in his subject's exaction, decreed that one of the ships with her merchandise should be given as satisfaction to the wronged washerman. So, what happened next? We will come to know tomorrow. Till then, be happy, be safe, be jolly. Shubhamastu.